Hey brother! Big Hero 6. Ben, it is kind of surprising that so far we have not even talked about it. I mean, it's almost like Disney and Pixar and Marvel all had a baby and the result is awesome.
Harry baby.
Well, except for the part, where the big brother dies. I was not a huge fan of that part, being a big brother myself and all. But that is if he's really dead. In case you need a refresher, Big Hero 6 is the story of Hiro, a 14-year-old who builds robots and fights with them until his older brother, Tadashi, convinces him to quit that and come to college with him and all of his fun nicknamed buddies. And Fred.
School mascot by day, but by night, I am also a school mascot.
But shortly after getting accepted to college, Tadashi dies in an accident, and Hiro and his other buddies do the only logical thing and become superheroes to track down Tadashi's possible murderer. But here's the thing though, Ben. As I'm sure you know, big brothers are essentially invincible, so I don't think that anyone is buying it when Tadashi dies so early on in the movie. I mean, just look at the funeral. It's supposedly for two people who died in the same accident, and yet one of them is revealed to be alive later on in the movie. Spoilers. But I think the first real big hint comes later when Baymax awakens in Hiro's bedroom and proclaims,
Tadashi is here.
Aw, what an adorable robot not understanding human death, right? Well, that's what you're supposed to think, at least until later in the movie when Baymax repeats this sentiment and then plays a video of Tadashi testing him while he was in development. And this would seem to satisfy why he's saying Tadashi is here. And yet, it still really doesn't. It's still not true. Unless, remember, Baymax scans everyone he meets instantly.
You scanned him?
I am programmed to assess everyone's healthcare needs.
In fact, they later upgrade this ability so that he can scan all of San Fransokyo all at once to find a body match for Yokai and locate his secret base. So what if when he says Tadashi is here, that's him doing the same thing? Him scanning the room, being initially confused because of the change of appearance, but then realizing, yes, Tadashi is here, sitting on the bed. What if Hiro is Tadashi? Now, hold on, I know. Stick with me. Impossible, right? I mean, they're on screen together a lot, and you'd think their parents would remember, only having one kid. Yes, indeed, the parents would be an issue, and yet Disney parents are always just so dead, aren't they? Classic Disney, am I right? We know Hiro is half Japanese and half American, and based on the pictures in the house, if we are assuming these are his parents, then it looks like they lived in Japan, so Aunt Cass might not have been around that much or at all, or have ever met them until she takes custody of them. Convenient way for a second child to just appear, isn't it? Because notice how on the walls, none of the photos have parents and two kids, only ever one. So then how are there two of them though? Well, bear with me, I promise there is a lot of evidence for this, but time travel.
Oh, okay, I like where this is heading.
Yeah, I know time travel is a bit of a sticky business, but it is very common in the superhero genre, and this movie basically shows you how it would happen, and one of the characters actually does sort of time travel. Okay, so here's how it would work. At the end of the movie, Hiro and Baymax go through the portal created by Callahan to try and rescue his daughter. What's on the other side of the portal is a somewhat psychedelic rainbow cloud world from which portals can be opened up to a specific place and time. And earlier in the movie, we see an example of how they plan to revolutionize transportation using this device when Cray throws the general's hat through the portal and it comes out the other end. Now, presumably what's happening here is that Cray has opened two portals in the rainbow cloud world. They're throwing the hat through one, it's traveling some space in the other world, and then hitting the other portal and coming back. The experiment works great with the hat, but later fails when they have a human-piloted attempt which strands Abigail Callahan over in the rainbow cloud world. The failure is apparently caused by a minor magnetic disturbance. So our theory is that after the events of the first movie, Hiro will realize that he can use this technology not just to travel through space, but time as well, and as such will try and go back to prevent his brother from ever dying. However, his attempt will go astray after he has entered the rainbow cloud world and encounters Abigail's test run. Hiro himself will have been the minor magnetic disturbance that throws off the test run, and as a result also throws him off course, thus crash landing him further in the past than he intended. And if this process were to somehow age him backwards, then his only way back to the future would be to wait in real time to age up normally. Now, admittedly, that is maybe the hardest part of this whole theory to explain, but then again, this movie takes place in a world where it looks like Tokyo ate San Francisco, and college students are just regularly inventing world-changing devices and can 3D print themselves into superheroes, so I'm not really holding my breath on the aging backwards thing. So if Hiro were to land in the past at around age 7, right after his parents had died, but also before Cass adopts them and before younger Hiro can even remember any of this, remember he would only be 3 at the time, then he would be in quite a position to act as his own older brother for the next 10 years. And yes, I know, it sounds crazy, but a lot of things Baymax and Tadashi say really start to make sense when you consider this possibility. Like when Baymax decides he needs to contact Hiro's friends to cheer him up. Who does he actually contact? Tadashi's friends. Are you telling me Hiro has no other friends? That his best friends are 4 college-age students that he just met 3 weeks ago? And where does Hiro happen to end up at the end of the movie? Right back in Tadashi's office. With his hat, I might add. And just listen to some of these lines from Tadashi as if he already knows what's going to happen.
You're gonna help so many people, buddy.
These aren't messages to Baymax, they're recordings for his future younger self. That makes sense. Future younger. Yeah, okay, time travel's weird. Point is, he would have already lived through everything Hiro is going through because he was Hiro. He knows when his younger self is going to be at his lowest moment and provides the exact reassurance he needs to get back on track. This would also explain how he knew where to find him at the bot fight and when to get there, and how to so easily manipulate him into wanting to go to college.
I have to go here.
And when does Hiro's big breakthrough on the microbot technology come to him?
Look for a new angle.
I mean, come on, when's the last time in history being dangled upside down led to a world-changing discovery? And he's also the one who makes sure Cray doesn't accidentally take one of the microbots.
Mr. Cray, that's my brother's.
The tragic part, of course, is that he is aware of his own impending death. He knows his death is the catalyst for the formation of Big Hero 6. His death is what completes the circuit. Hiro is always going to grow up to want to save his brother, and he's always going to try, and every time he tries, he's going to realize he was Tadashi all along and repeat the process. But the silver line is, Hiro just has to believe Tadashi is dead. That opens the door for Tadashi not to actually have died. If he knows his death is coming, then he can prepare for it. He could have set up another portal to escape back to his own time, having finally fulfilled the requirements to continue the loop. But even if you don't want to buy into the whole Hiro is Tadashi theory, the evidence of time travel is still all over this movie. Like, see this helmet? This is a reference to the brainwave analyzer from Back to the Future. A weird movie to have an Easter egg for since it wasn't a Disney movie. And it doesn't stop there. Did anyone else's OCD kick in when they realized the clock in Hiro's room never changes? Well, you know what other movie has a famously never changing clock? Back to the Future. I mean, if it was just one Easter egg, I'd say, yeah, sure, that's a polite nod, but 2? Yeah. That's a hint. And how about this wanted poster in the police station of none other than Hans? I mean, shouldn't he be like way dead by now? Well, maybe not if he time traveled to the future, and this looks like it would be a great place for him to go, as there seem to be some descendants of him in town, or else Fred just has a very, very random statue of him in his courtyard, not to mention this very old-timey looking boat straight from Arendelle, and the fact that Abigail herself basically undergoes a type of time travel while she's in hypersleep in the Rainbow Cloud world. I mean, she enters the portal at one point in time and exits at another point, having not really aged at all, so that's time travel, right? Now, sadly, as it is, Big Hero 6 is not scheduled for a theatrical sequel at this time. but they did just get approved for a new TV series on Disney XD to premiere later this year. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see if in fact Hiro is Tadashi. But Ben, my question for you and everyone else is, what do you think? Could Hiro and Tadashi be the same person? Or at least do you think Tadashi is still alive somewhere in the future? Let me hear your thoughts in the towel section down below. These socks are amazing! We are also excited to announce a brand new item over on our DFTBA store. We got some awesome new play balls right here. They have the cool play button on them. I think they would be great for like a convention if you wanted to get them signed or whatnot, or just, you know, throw them at people behind the camera. Whatever. Ah! Available at dftba.com. Guys, thanks for watching as always. Please remember to like this video if you haven't already and subscribe so you don't miss any future Disney content from us. If you'd like to see how and or why Vanellope should or shouldn't be a Disney princess, you can check out this video right here, or you can check this video for how racism plays into Zootopia. But Ben, that's all I've got for you today, man. I will see you in another life, bro.